KPBA 99 Trade the Beat. LaRon Marbley here. And as promised, a special interview brought to you by Reliance Bank. And I have on the line my man, newly named head football coach for the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff Golden Lions, Coach Alonzo Hampton. What's going on, Coach?
How you doing? How you doing, Golden Lion Nation?
Yes, sir. Doing well, doing well. First of all, congratulations and welcome back home, my guy.
Well, I can tell you this, man. I'm excited. My family is excited to be able to come back home to the place, state that means so much to us. And obviously coming back to a university that gave me my first opportunity to coach college football. So I think it's just full circle right now. And we're excited to get ready to get on the road when we can do that after the break in January.
Absolutely, Coach, and I'm excited for you, my man. And at this point, Coach, I know you had a lot of opportunities, been a lot of places, had a lot of experiences. But what in your mind made you think, okay, I'm ready to go to a head coaching position on the college levels and at this juncture of your career? And why did you choose UAPB?
As I said, being there for 4 years under Coach Forte, he hired me as a volunteer coach and was able to work my way up and then transition to Coach Coleman. Man, I just, it was the best 4 years of my life. And obviously I left there and I was able to go out and continue to move up in the coaching profession. And so as you continue to move up, and you always have your eyes on different jobs and you watch coaches and you say, I can do that one day.
Right.
And so obviously for me, being the places that I've been, every time the job came open at Pine Bluff, I've always kind of reached out to certain people to see if they was ready or what their thought process was. And so now for me, it was the perfect timing. I had been at my alma mater for the last 2 years
right.
as assistant head football coach. And I tell people this, man, all I want to do is impact young men and women. And so, and the best way to do that is when somebody puts you in position to lead. And I just thought, man, this was the right timing for me. And then I put my name in the hat. And so when I put my name in the hat, I went full bore, man. I did all the research. I've been doing it for years.
Right.
It was two jobs in my mind I always wanted. One was my alma mater, University of Louisiana Monroe. I was able to be the assistant head coach for 2 years, and then Arkansas Pine Bluff. And so I'm excited about, man, coming back home to a place that means so much to me. So I knew in my mind when I left in 2010 that one day, if the opportunity came back to me, I was going to take full advantage of it. And God bless. Here we are.
Absolutely, Coach. And once again, congratulations on it. Glad to have you back home. And, of course, we'll backtrack a little bit. Of course, you're a Warren, Arkansas native. And we were kind of talking a little bit off air, man. I got an opportunity to play against you back in high school, man. And I played on the offensive side of the ball. And if I remember right, you played on both sides. But one particular thing that stuck in my mind, one of my teammates, Irvin Tisdale, you were running a sweep. And Tisdale was super fast. And he came back to the sideline. He said, man, dude fast. I'll never forget that, Coach. It was just amazing to me because Tisdale was so fast. But just talking about some of the experiences. But you being from Warren, I mean, you have a lot of Arkansas ties. And I know that's going to spell well for you as you head into recruiting.
Yes, obviously being a lumberjack at heart, born and raised, so that place means a lot to me.
Right.
And we've done really well. And obviously for me, my first coaching job was to go back and coach at my high school. So we went 48-12, won 2 state titles. So obviously being from the state of Arkansas, being a Southeast guy, but just knowing most all these coaches in the state, I look forward to just going out and me and my coaching staff, we get the opportunity just to swarm this state. There's so many great players in this state. And obviously I just think we have an opportunity to do something special right there in the Bluff. I mean, in 2006, we went to the SWAC championship game.
Right.
In 2012, Coach Coleman, those are some of the same players we recruited when we left, and they won a national championship. I know it can be done, so you just got to get the right group of guys in there and develop those guys. And obviously for us, we want to be able to keep the local talent home. When I talk about local talent, I'm talking about the talent in the state of Arkansas. Why not us?
Right.
That was our thing back in 2006. Why not the Bluff? Let's be the light on the hill everybody's talking about. There's so many great things going on in Pine Bluff, and we just got to let people know what's here. And so I'm looking forward to that. And obviously I'll lean on all my connections from the high school coaches in the state. And then, I always tell people, we say Arkansas is a natural state. It's a whole lot of diamonds, man. We got to find them.
Yes,
you got to keep them home.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I love to hear that. And Coach, you mentioned you were the assistant head coach at your alma mater at ULM. Also, but you've had head coaching experience. You was the head coach of Dumas for a couple of seasons back in '04 and '05, if I'm not mistaken. So you do have some head coaching experience as well.
Yes. I mean, I tell people this. I was 30 years old when I took the head job at Dumas, Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things I didn't know, and then a lot of things the head coaching role to teach you about life.
Right.
And so I took those lessons, and I told people this. When I left Dumas, Arkansas, I came to UAPB. I took those lessons, and everywhere I've been, I started out at Pine Bluff as a volunteer coach, and
Mm-hmm.
people didn't realize that. My first year, I was a volunteer. And then the next year, they hired me as a corners coach. And then the next year, I got hired as a defensive coordinator. So I've always been one of those guys, if you put me somewhere, then watch me work, because I'm going to work my way to the top. You're not going to outwork me or my staff. So that's the thing that I'm going over now. Just, like I said, I got a lot of guys in mind. And then I'm going to have some guys around me that have probably been in that seat before.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a lot of mentors, people that, former superintendents in the state of Arkansas that have managed more people than I have. My best friend's the vice president of Georgia Pacific. Like, I mean, he manages millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I got people that I can lean on and I trust that's going to help me along the way. And obviously, being with Willie Taggart over the years, being the head coach at Florida State, Oregon, and Western Kentucky, man, in USF, you learn a lot of things about being in that seat. So I think I'm ready for the moment. And again, man, everything we do, we're going to do it to the best of our abilities. And obviously, if we see it's not working, we're going to find a way to correct it.
Absolutely, Coach. And you said it, and it was funny. You said that your work effort and no one would outwork you. That shows how, and we both know this, that shows how playing football kind of relates to life, because you had to work that hard as an athlete, making it to collegiate and to the professional level. So you just kind of transition that into your profession and keeping it going.
Yes, sir. I tell people this. You talking about running, and I was a state champion, the meter champs in the 400 meters, 48-1.
Right.
In 1991. And the reason I went to the 400 meters, because I couldn't beat Carl Kidd and I couldn't beat Shabazz in the 100 or the 200. So I said, what can I do that they can't beat me in? So I went and developed myself into the best quarter mile in the state of Arkansas, and I became the state champion. And so we laugh about that all the time, and that's the same thing now. Whatever we do, we're going to find a way. You ain't going to outwork us, okay? And I want guys around me that understand we're going to be flexible, we're going to be adaptable, we're going to have to make sudden changes at times, and if one way is not working, we're going to find another way. And at the end of the day, that process that we're going to go through, it's going to teach us some things, but at the end of the day, our kids are going to walk across that stage. They're going to graduate, and we're going to put a product on that field, and that product started today, and we'll get those guys ready to roll.
Absolutely.
And make the city proud.
Absolutely, Coach, and definitely that's the most important thing, that they do get degrees and turn into productive citizens. So you definitely want to see that. And, Coach, you talked about the guys around you. We kind of had a little conversation about your coaching staff. We know you're hitting the ground running, just a little bit behind schedule, but I know you'll get right on it. But as far as your coaching staff, do you have guys in mind? How are you going to go about, bringing on your staff?
Like I said, man, when you want to be a head coach, obviously you have a group of guys that you got for every position. Right. And you got 1A, 1B, and all the way down the list in every position. So as I said to you off the air, I want to talk to the guys that's there. And if one or two of those guys are there fit for what we're trying to do, then you may keep them. But obviously the two most important hires for me right now is the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator. I'm a defensive guy. I'm a special teams guy, so I'm not as concerned about the defense or special teams because, those guys, I'll be heavily involved with it. Mm-hmm. When I say involved, I'll be, I have a really good grasp. On the offensive side, that guy is going to be a person that I trust, and then he'll have the full range to run his offense. And then, obviously, I'll let him bring him one guy that he feels comfortable with to help him install his offense.
Okay.
But, obviously, I would hate to make a phone call to a guy over the phone and I've never met and tell him that he's not being retained. That's just not the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. And so obviously, in this process, the early signing period just got started a couple of years ago. So we're not far behind. Right. And at the end of the day, I need to know which one of our kids are coming back, you know, so that may give me more room as far as which position you need to recruit on which one of you guys. We need to see if our coaches can recruit our own players back. So that may help one of those guys keep a job as well.
Absolutely, Coach. And I know you're busy. I know you're trying to get the staff together, get your recruits. So I won't hold you much longer. But Coach, kind of tell the audience out there, what are your plans coming into UAPB to kind of try to change this the program around?
Well, I'll be honest. My number one plan is recruit, retain, and graduate the young men and women in the program. That's the number one goal for me.
Okay.
And I said it in my interview, and I think a lot of people, they were shocked, but that's what they wanted to hear. And obviously, I think once you recruit great student athletes, then you'll see the football portion of your team, you know, athletic portion of your team begin to win the games. Because if those kids don't understand the schemes that you're running, you're going to have a hard time winning in this league. Right. And so obviously we're going to be able to recruit great students first. Okay, I always say student athlete, and that means a lot. Right. So we're going to be recruiting guys that have high SAT scores. When I say SAT scores, not necessarily you got to be at top. I'm talking about smart, athletic, and tough. Okay, and then the progress on the field, you're going to see it. It's going to be a process. You know, obviously I did my homework. Every 6 to 7 years, we've been able to do what? Get to the SWAC championship game.
Right.
Okay, 2006. Okay, 2012. Okay, 2020. All right. So you see where we're at?
Yes, sir.
So it's 2022. Like now, it's time to go. And how do you do it? You got to develop kids. And everybody's running to the portal, grabbing all these players. I think, man, we got to be able to recruit these high school players that everybody's looking over, and let's develop those guys. And now you can talk about let's put the product on the field and let's get the support from our local community within the state to come and fill the stands up on Saturday. Because I'm telling you this right now, if we can get the community excited about what we're doing, okay, then we got a chance to win on Saturdays. You know, that's the hardest thing to do. We go out and recruit all these players from other states. I mean, we're going to hit the surrounding states. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
You're talking about Memphis and you talk about Louisiana, Texas. All those schools are right there next to us. Kansas, you know. But we got to be able to recruit locally and get that support system going. And when we do that, we'll fill the stands up. We're going to like the product on the field and watch what we do. Because I've seen it before.
Right.
I was there in 2006.
It was part of it.
That's right. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do.
Well, absolutely, Coach. That's good. That's great stuff. And a lot of people around, I know they love to hear that because I think we have been kind of neglecting some of our local state athletes that could definitely do a big thing here at UAPB. And I'm looking forward to that, Coach. And, man, you got me excited as well, Coach.
Well, I appreciate it. Like I said, I just think, obviously, this is a job that is ready to take off. And we got the right people from all the way down from Chancellor Alexander to the AD, Mr. Robinson. Like, man, everybody's ready to win. And we say win now, we want to win in the classroom and on the field. Okay? Absolutely. How can you win on the field and you ain't winning in the classroom? We'll be doing these young men a disservice.
Right.
So you'll hear Coach Hampton talking a lot about academics, and my coaches understand that. That's who I am, and that's what I've always done. But I'm the most competitive guy you'll ever see on the football field. And we're going to win every day. So I tell my kids this, and my coaches, okay, I want you to be present, not perfect. Okay, but we're going to show up every day. There ain't nobody going to not work.
Absolutely, Coach. And lastly, I know it's a lot of people out there you want to thank. Go ahead, Coach. I know you want to send some shouts out and thank some folks.
Well, first of all, like I said, number one, Chancellor Alexander for giving me this opportunity and Mr. Robinson for selecting me, the search committee. I mean, I couldn't have, be more thankful to those guys for this opportunity to lead this great institution. Obviously, I tell people if Coach Forte would, rest in peace, if he had never gave me an opportunity to be a volunteer coach, I would never be here. Coach Coleman, man, he just trusted me when he got the head job to give me the coordinator job. I tell everybody I was the broke version of Gus Malzahn. He went from high school to coaching college football, and I did too. But we just made different money. And so obviously I appreciate him. And then I always got to go back to my mentors, the Andrew Tobbs and Frank Anthony. Both of those are former superintendents in the state of Arkansas. Those guys, I don't make any decisions without talking to those. two men.
Okay.
And then my high school track coach, Doug Spencer, certified accountant in Warren, Arkansas. He trained me. And again, man, I just been blessed to have great mentors around me. And then I tell people, I would be remiss not to say Bo Henry from Warren, Arkansas. We started in 2000. Man, they used to call us the Bozo Show because, man, we were so animated, in what we were doing. And obviously it worked out because we won 2 state titles, the first 2 in the history of the program, my high school, in 48 and 12. And I left him with the Doomers. And guess what? Coach Hemmers, I think he's won over 200 games since.
Yes,
so that man has meant a lot to me. So I want to thank him, just being able to call him a brother, and even guys around. You talk about Coach Williams at Pine Bluff. I met him on the road recruiting, man. Pine Bluff High is in a great position. He's a great man. You talk about my guy Cortez Lee at Little Rock Mills. I played against him, coached against him. Man, those are guys. The Buck James at Bryant. Those guys mean a lot to me, and they know what I'm trying to do. And again, I'm going to be leaning on them guys because they've been in the fire, you know. So I feel good about where we at. I'm just ready to get started when we get back in the new year's, and we'll get all of this stuff solidified and get on the ground, get ready to roll.
Absolutely, Coach. And lastly, what is your message to Golden Lion Nation?
All I'll tell you, Golden Lion Nation, is do this, all right? Just buckle up. It's going to be a fun ride. You can expect our young men and women in our program to graduate. They're going to be great men and women in the community. They won't embarrass our community. And obviously, at the end of the day, once everything is in place, we're going to win a lot of football games, but better yet, they're going to go out and become great husbands and leaders in their community. And they're going to come back and give back to our university because that's what it's all about.
Yes.
We got to get our alumni back here to be able to give back, and so we can continue to build our campus up just like they just broke ground on that great student union building. We got the track coming, the soccer. Man, it's a great time to build Golden Lion, baby. I'm ready to go.
Yes, sir. I hear the excitement in your voice, Coach. Well, I'll let you get back to it, man. I know you got a lot of recruiting to do and a lot of things to get started and put into place, Coach. But, again, I'd like to thank you for taking the time out with us, man, spend a little time with us and address Golden Lion Nation. And once again, congratulations. And, man, I'm looking forward to the fall. Yes, sir.
All right, man. Appreciate it. And be blessed. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
You as well, my guy. You as well.
All right.
That's head coach Alonzo Hampton, newly named head coach of the UAPB Golden Lions football squad, the Warren, Arkansas native taking over here at UAPB. We thank you for tuning in to the Reliance Bank special broadcast, talking with newly named head coach, UAPB head coach Alonzo Hampton here on the Deltaplex Family of Networks on 99.3 The Beat.